June is a great month to plant spinach, radishes, and basil, or to completely ruin your harvest. I spent hours digging through expert videos and blog posts, and out of 50 crops and tips, I picked the top 19 to plant in June. Fast and reliable. Radish, fast but fussy in the heat. Everyone thinks radishes are the easiest win in the garden, and in spring they are. But once June hits, things change. The heat speeds up growth, which often leads to hollow centers, split skins, or bitter roots. To make them thrive now, you need shade, moisture, and careful timing. Mulch the soil and water regularly. Instead of planting a full bed at once, sow in small waves every few days to keep the harvest steady and tender. New Zeland Spinach, built for summer greens. We all love spinach, but it bolts the moment summer shows up. That's where New Zealand spinach changes the game. It isn't true spinach, but it thrives in the heat, keeps producing for months, and handles drought with ease. It needs room to spread, not tight rows. Soak the seeds overnight to help them germinate, and plant them where they can sprawl. Once established, regular harvesting encourages lush regrowth that keeps on coming. Lettuce, still possible if you play it smart. Most gardeners skip lettuce in June. It bolts fast and turns bitter, but with a smarter approach, it can still be one of your best crops. Choose heat-tolerant varieties like Jericho or Red Sails. Pick a spot with morning sun and afternoon shade. Deep mulch helps keep roots cool and moist. Instead of a single planting, sow every 10 days. This way, even if one batch bolts, the next one might flourish. Basil, more than just a herb. Basil thrives in warm weather, but only if you manage its growth from the start. Letting it grow tall without pinching leads to early flowering and a short harvest. Pinch the tops early and often to encourage side shoots and a bushier plant. This means more leaves, longer productivity, and better flavor. One extra tip: allow just one plant to flower near your vegetables. It brings pollinators and gives you seeds for next season. Green onions, cut, don't pull. Green onions are often harvested by pulling them out, but there's a better way. Snip them above the base and they'll regrow multiple times from the same roots. Sow the seeds close together, keep the soil evenly moist, and apply mulch to protect from drying out. You can even regrow them from kitchen scraps. A small corner of your garden can keep producing fresh scallions all season long with almost no effort. Before we dive into the heat-loving summer staples, just a quick ask. A like, subscribe, and a comment on this video would really help out Rooted Revival. Let's grow our homesteading community together. Group 2, heat-loving summer staples. Zucchini, easy to grow, hard to stop. Zucchini feels like a beginner's dream. It germinates fast, grows huge leaves, and gives you food within weeks. But in June, it becomes a race between production and control. One plant can give you more than you need fast. Direct sow into warm soil and give it space, at least 2 to 3 feet. Harvest early and often. Smaller fruits taste better and help the plant keep producing. If you wait too long, yields slow down and fruits lose flavor. Cucumbers, trellis for cleaner, stronger growth. Cucumbers love June warmth and consistent moisture, but without support, they sprawl and suffer from mildew and pest pressure. Train them up a trellis to save space and keep fruit off the ground. Pick young for better taste and to avoid slowing production. Water at the base to prevent leaf diseases, and choose the variety based on your goal. Bush types for containers, vining types for full beds. Sweet corn, late but still worth it. Corn planted in early June still has time to mature, but only if it gets what it needs. Warm soil, full sun, and plenty of company. Planted in blocks, not single rows, for proper pollination. Thin early to avoid overcrowding and add compost or diluted fertilizer once it reaches knee height. With care, you'll still get full ears in late summer. But don't go light. Fewer than a dozen plants often means poor pollination and missing kernels. Bush beans. Fast return, no strings attached. Bush beans are quick and low maintenance, perfect for small spaces and fast harvests. They don't need trellising, just warm soil and good spacing. Plant seeds an inch deep, 3 to 4 inches apart. They'll sprout fast and be ready to harvest in 50 to 60 days, but consistency matters. Harvest every couple of days to keep them producing. Let them sit too long and they'll stop giving. Pole beans, grow up, harvest longer. Pole beans take longer to start, but they reward patience with extended harvests. Sow next to a strong trellis or teepee and keep them well watered during flowering. Guide the vines early, they climb fast and need support to stay productive. These beans are ideal for gardeners with vertical space and time to tend. While bush beans burn out quick, pole beans give you more over the long haul. Group 3, fall-focused crops. Carrots, slow start, sweet finish. Carrots can be tricky in June. They need cool soil to germinate, but heat is already here. Still, with some effort, they'll reward you in the fall. Sow directly in loose, stone-free soil and water daily until they sprout. A layer of mulch keeps the soil moist and cool. Thin early. Crowding stunts root growth. Leave them in the ground into fall for a sweeter taste. And remember, the best carrots are slow and steady. Beets, greens now, roots later. Beets offer a double reward. Fast greens and rich, earthy roots, but they don't like competition. Sow directly ½ an inch deep and thin early, use the baby greens fresh, and let the roots mature. Water evenly to avoid tough skins. If you want deep color and rich flavor, add some wood ash or boron to the soil before planting. A well-fed beet is one of the most nutritious crops you can grow. Turnips. Quick to grow, easy to overlook. Turnips often get skipped, but they shouldn't. They grow fast, like radishes, and the greens are just as valuable as the roots. Sow them in partial shade if you're in a hot zone. Thin early to avoid woody bulbs. Harvest small for the sweetest flavor. Choose varieties like Hakurei for better texture. Turnips planted in June can fill the gap between fast crops and fall storage vegetables. Swiss chard, bold color, strong performer. Swiss chard keeps going long after most greens have given up. It's heat-tolerant, regrows quickly, and brings color to the garden. Plant 12 inches apart in rich soil and harvest outer leaves as needed. Mulch helps it stay hydrated and strong. The trick is to harvest often and not waiting for giant leaves. It will stay productive for months if you keep it active. Collards, tough enough for heat and cold. Collards grow like kale but handle stress even better. June heat doesn't bother them, and their real flavor comes later, after cooler nights. Start now and harvest lower leaves as they grow. Keep the center intact and it will keep producing. With enough space and mulch, collards can take you from summer through frost with steady, reliable harvests. Parsnips, the long wait that pays off. Parsnips take patience. They can take 3 weeks just to sprout and months to mature, but the reward is real. Deep, sweet flavor that only comes after cold sets in. Plant in deep, loose soil. Water consistently, then forget about them. Come back in fall or even winter and dig up a root that's soft, sweet, and ready for roasting. They're the slowest crop in this list and maybe the most rewarding. Group 4, unusual but brilliant crops. Armenian cucumber, a melon disguised as a cucumber. You might think it's a fancy cucumber, but Armenian cucumber is actually a melon. That explains why it handles heat better and never turns bitter even in full sun. It grows long, light green fruits that stay crisp without peeling. Trellis it like a vining cucumber to get straighter fruit and better air circulation. It's more forgiving than regular cucumbers and keeps producing when others slow down. Lemon balm, calming, spreading, and surprisingly useful. Lemon balm grows fast, smells amazing, and brings pollinators like few other herbs, but it can get aggressive. Direct sow it in June or transplant starts into a contained spot. Cut it back hard mid-season and it'll regrow tender and lush. Use it for tea, garnish, or natural pest control. It's a medicinal herb, but also a brilliant companion plant. Calendula, a flower that does much more than look pretty. Calendula gives you cheerful color, but it also works behind the scenes. Its petals are edible, medicinal, and great for drying. It attracts pollinators while repelling some pests. Sow it directly into warm soil, deadhead often, and it will bloom for months. Add it to garden edges, and it will brighten the space while quietly working to protect your veggies. That's our full list. These 19 crops can still be planted in June and give you real harvests if you treat the season right. Planting in June means you need to think ahead, stay consistent, and choose what fits the moment. Thanks for watching and for being part of this. If you're planting any of these or testing something new, I'd love to hear about it in the comments.